The Power of a Grateful Heart. Once upon a time, in a quiet little town, there lived a young man named Ethan. Ethan often felt overwhelmed by life. He believed that nothing ever went right for him. Every morning, he would wake up with a heavy heart, dreading the day ahead. He struggled to find a job that suited him. His family constantly pressured him, and his friends seemed distant. Even small challenges felt like mountains to climb, and every failure made him feel smaller and smaller inside. One afternoon, feeling especially down, Ethan decided to take a walk through his town. He found himself at a small, cozy cafe, tucked away on a quiet street. He ordered a cup of tea and sat in a corner, staring out the window. His mind was crowded with worries, bills to pay, dreams that seemed impossible, and a lingering fear about what the future might hold. He took a deep breath, hoping for a moment of calm. At the next table, a group of older men were chatting. Ethan wasn't trying to listen, but some of their words reached his ears. "You know the old man who lives beyond the hills?" one of them said. "He may look ordinary, but he has wisdom beyond imagination. My son was struggling badly, but after talking to him, everything changed." Another man nodded. "Yes, people say he can lighten your heart with just a conversation. He makes you see life differently." Ethan's curiosity was piqued. He thought, maybe he can help me too. Maybe I can finally find some peace. That evening, Ethan quietly walked towards the hills, where the wise old man was said to live. The path was long, winding through trees and past fields, and by the time he arrived, the sun was beginning to set, painting the sky in shades of orange and gold. Ethan hesitated for a moment at the door, took a deep breath, and knocked. The door opened, and a gentle, smiling man appeared. His hair was white, his eyes kind, and his presence calm. Ethan stepped inside, his heart racing with hope and doubt. "Sir," Ethan began, "I have many problems. I feel pain and sadness every day. I do not know how to be happy. Can you help me?" The old man listened quietly. Then, without saying a word, he turned and walked away. Ethan was confused, but decided to wait patiently. After a few minutes, the old man returned, holding a small bowl filled with salt and a glass of water. "Take some salt and put it into this glass of water," the old man instructed. Ethan hesitated, but did as he was told. He stirred the water, then took a sip. The taste was overwhelmingly salty, almost unbearable. "Now," the old man said, "take another handful of salt and come with me." He led Ethan to a nearby lake. The water sparkled under the moonlight. "Throw the salt into the lake," the old man said. Ethan did as instructed, watching the grains disappear into the vast water. "Now taste the lake water," the old man instructed. Ethan scooped up some water and drank. To his surprise, it tasted fresh and clean, with no hint of saltiness at all. The old man placed a hand on Ethan's shoulder and spoke gently. "Ethan, the salt represents pain in life. Everyone experiences it. A little pain, a lot of pain, it's all part of living. But how much that pain affects you depends on the size of your heart. If your heart is small, like the glass, even a tiny problem can make you bitter. If your heart is large, like this lake, even the greatest difficulties will not overwhelm you." Ethan listened intently, realizing the truth in the old man's words. "So, it's not the problems themselves, but how I hold them in my heart?" he asked. "Exactly," the old man nodded. "Life will always bring challenges, but if you keep your heart open, patient, and full of gratitude, pain cannot control you. You will still face sadness, but it will not consume you. Like the salt in the lake, it will dissolve, leaving you with peace." Ethan spent the rest of the evening talking with the wise old man. They spoke about kindness, patience, and the importance of appreciating even small joys. Ethan began to understand that happiness was not the absence of problems, but the ability to carry them with a heart that was big enough to hold them without breaking. From that day on, Ethan practiced opening his heart. He tried to see the good in every situation, even when things went wrong. When faced with setbacks, he reminded himself of the lake and the salt. Slowly, he noticed a change. His worries became lighter, his sadness less consuming, and his life felt more peaceful. He began to smile more, to appreciate his friends and family, and to face challenges with courage rather than fear. Ethan realized that gratitude was a powerful force. It allowed him to see life's lessons instead of only its hardships. When he helped others, offered a kind word, or simply appreciated a beautiful sunset, he felt his heart grow wider, more resilient, and full of calm. Years later, Ethan often thought back to that evening by the lake. He shared the story with anyone who seemed weighed down by life, hoping they too would learn to make their hearts as wide as the lake. He understood deeply that life would never be free from problems, but with a grateful heart, peace and happiness were always within reach. And so, Ethan lived his life, carrying both the joys and the sorrows, but never letting the sorrows overpower the vastness of his heart. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment telling us what topics or stories you'd like to see next. Your feedback helps us create more content you'll love.